All right, welcome back to the Maximum Lawyer Podcast. I'm Tyson Mutrix. Jim's on assignment, and today I'm here with Craig Goldenfarb. What's going on, Craig?
How you doing, Tyson?
I'm doing well. We just went about 5 minutes without recording, so we're now live and recording, so that's good. So let's jump right into your topic to give you as much time as possible to talk about it. And your topic for MaxLawCon 2021 is how I grew to 70 employees so I could spend my time however I want. So let's talk a little bit about that topic. I know that this is something that we came up with together, the topic idea, but just, I guess, what are your thoughts on it?
Sure. Well, I started my law firm in about 2001 or 2002, so it's been about 20 years. But when I started, I really had an entrepreneurial mindset. And the way I figured out how to grow was to really think of a law firm as containing a personal injury law firm really contains functions. And the functions start from when you pick up the phone until when you close the file. And there's only like 100 things in the middle, right? And when you start out, you have like one lawyer and maybe one staff, like I had in 2001. And the one lawyer and the one staff do all 100 functions of the law firm. But as you get bigger, you realize you can divide out into more staff that specialize in what they're best at. So a personal injury law firm, someone answers the phone, someone does the intake, someone works up the file, medically manages it, does the demand letter, someone negotiates it, someone does the closing, someone distributes to the client, and someone litigates. So that's like the beginning to the end. And then you have your non-legal sections, which is marketing, administration, etc., which are the non-legal parts of a law firm. And when you have two people in your law firm, the two people do all that stuff. As you grow, you can expand and put specialists in each of those areas. And once I started thinking that way, it allowed me to hire people to fit in. And I think my best skill, Tyson, to be honest, is that I can spot with any law firm or with myself where there's a hole and where that spot needs to be filled. And that's why I was able to grow to 70 employees.
So I want you to think about you and that one employee and you and your 70 employees, and which one's harder?
It was definitely harder at the beginning because I had a certain skill set and I was missing, 15 others, right? So I'm not a professional marketer. I'm a good schmoozer, but I'm not a professional marketer. I'm not a graphic designer. I don't build newsletters. I don't know how to do an e-newsletter. I'm 50 years old, so I didn't know anything about technology, right? So when I started, I had all these weaknesses. Those needed to be filled by other people, and I couldn't because I didn't have any money, and I was 30, and I didn't have any skills other than what I had. So it's a lot easier now, believe it or not. People think you got a huge law firm, it's killing you. It's so much easier now because I delegate everything.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I mean, and I'm sure a lot of people think, oh my gosh, 70 employees, that's a lot, which it definitely is a lot. That didn't happen overnight. So at what point did that really start to take off?
Well, I'll tell you, as you may know, Tyson, I coach personal injury attorneys. I coach personal injury firms across the country. And when I analyze a law firm, I start with who their staff is and what their staff's roles are. And I can usually spot pretty easily where the holes are. And like a perfect opportunity is at 6 or 7 employees. That's when you hire an office manager. And everybody's so surprised that that number is so small. Like, why 6 or 7? And there's a reason for that. And that's because you should not be dealing with vacation requests, people punching in late, my dog ate my homework type excuses. As a firm owner, once you get to 6 or 7, you need someone else to handle that garbage. And so that's one of the first hires you make is an office manager. So you start to grow in an intentional way, which is that you got to figure out, when do you hire the receptionist? When do you hire the office manager? When do you hire your first marketing intern? So as I said, I think, frankly, my best skill is not as a lawyer. It's business structure and business organization and figuring out when you hire and who you hire.
Do you have like a desired endpoint, like 150 employees, 500 employees? Do you think about it like that, or do you just say, okay, this is what we need to grow, and you just keep growing incrementally?
At this point in my law firm, I don't. My goals are sustained growth, a continued 30% profit margin, which is kind of a gold standard for personal injury firms, is to try to get to a 30% profit margin. And as long as, if my overhead goes up and my payroll goes up, if my income goes up concurrently and maintains that 30% profit margin, I don't need to grow to a certain number. It's just the growth starts organically, and I tend to grow 10, 12% each year in gross revenue. So that's great. And that'll, until I quit, whenever the heck that is, that can go on for the rest of my life and I'll be fine.
Perfect. I love it. All right. So 2 more questions. If people want to refer you a case, or they want to reach out to you, ask you questions, or listen, they need a coach, how do they get in touch with you?
Well, there's a couple ways. My email is cgoldenfarb@800goldlaw.com. That's cgoldenfarb@800goldlaw.com. We also have an 800 number, 1-800-GOLD-LAW, pretty good. And we even have a great local number, which is 561-222-2222.
How many twos is that again?
It's 7-222-2222.
And then last question, what are you looking forward to when it comes to MaxLawCon 2021?
Well, I tend to think that I know very little, and I stand on the shoulders of other giants in my industry. That's why I share to others, and that's why I continue to go to conferences. I love going to conferences to hear brilliant people that have skill sets that I don't. And there are so many of those, Tyson, that you bring to MaxCon Law that I'm so excited to hear areas of inquiry and areas of knowledge that I have no idea about.
I love it. And I really look forward to your presentation. It's going to be fantastic. Thanks, Craig. We'll see you soon. Have a great day.
Tyson, thank you, buddy.
See you, buddy.